Hey, it's Shannon from iHeartRadio Canada, joined by the wonderful Alessia Cara. So good to see you. How are you?
Good to see you too. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
First of all, I feel like a congratulations is in order to you because you are the artist with the 10th biggest vocabulary in contemporary music.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's honestly, I don't know how that was calculated, but I feel like that should be added to my title before anyone like announces me or anything. It should be like 10th, the artist with the 10th biggest vocabulary in modern music, and then all the other achievements. I feel like that should be like the first one. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. The tenth biggest.
Like that,
I'm on.
then the Grammy, and then everything else. Yeah. I did look into it though to find out exactly how it's calculated for you. So it's from a website that's called Word Tips, and it's an online search tool. And they counted the words used by 100 modern stars out of the 1,000 of the songs, and then they calculated it from there. So there you go. Yeah,
that's crazy. That's
yeah,
awesome. Well,
yeah.
I'm very honored. I think Harry Styles was number one, which is cool. I think because he used watermelon in a song. I feel like that's.
Oh yeah, and Billie Eilish was up there too. So.
Yeah, I think she's second or something. Makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Also, how is your dog Cleo? Last time we talked, you had just gotten Cleo, so.
I know, it's crazy. She's big now. She is chilling. She's the best though. Like a lot more calm since we last spoke. In some ways, not in every way, but she's the best. She's just like my bestie. We just hang all the time, and she's awesome. She's very big though, a lot bigger than when you saw her.
Yeah, is she as big as you thought that she would be?
Not really. I felt like she would be smaller. I wanted her to be bigger. I even still, like, because I love huge dogs, so I was secretly hoping she was going to be, like, huge, but I knew she wouldn't. And then the guy that I got her from, he wasn't, like, a breeder or anything. He was just, like, a farmer. So he was like, I don't know, she'll probably be, like, 15 pounds or something. But she's 25, so she's bigger than we thought. But I'm glad because I love big dogs. So
I love big dogs, too. I like hugging dogs as if you're, like, hugging another human. Like, the bigger they are, the better. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, because I'm like, if we like roll around or we like wrestled or if she's like sleeping beside me, I don't want to like worry about crushing her. Like I like a little bit of pull, you know? So I was like, I'm glad that we can like tough it out and I'm not going to squish her.
Yeah, totally. It's so glad to see you doing press. I've been enjoying all the interviews that are coming out, and I love this, like, with this whole new era, I feel like it's so refreshing to see you talking about so many important things like insomnia and anxiety and panic attacks and all of these things. So thank you for being that person, first of all, to so many other people.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it was scary for me to talk about a lot of things on this project because it felt so like open. But I feel like the one use for doing that is like not only, I mean, I guess there's two. Like one for me to like purge my emotions and like get them out of my body and see them on paper, but then also so other people can like hear it and know that they're not crazy, because a lot of the time when you're dealing with a lot of things emotionally and mentally, you feel like you're the only one on the planet. You kind of feel like you're going crazy, but hopefully someone can hear some of my songs and be like, oh, okay, there's like somebody who feels these very real things, and it's okay and like very common.
Yeah. Is that role reversed for you then too, being able to come out with songs like this and then having your fans be like, oh, I feel that exact same way?
1,000%. Like in the beginning of things, like when I was dealing with a lot of tumultuous mental health struggles this last year, like all I would do was like go online and like try to find Reddit threads of like people who were going through the same thing, because I felt crazy, and it was so like all I wanted, I didn't even want a solution, I just wanted to know that someone was in the same boat. So I, the fact that I'm able to do that for them and they're able to do that for me is really, really awesome. It's definitely a two-way street.
Yeah, I feel like the pandemic almost helps kind of in that too, because if you are feeling low, you just know that so many other people are feeling that exact same way because of just how horrible the world has been over the last year, which is almost like a weird way of being comforted.
Yeah, it's like you're in the boat with like a bunch of people, and it like even when you feel like you're sinking, it's always I would prefer to sink with a bunch of people than alone, So I feel like that's how we all felt. We relied on each other to get out of it. And I feel like, I mean, even like through doing therapy and stuff, like my therapist told me that there is actually more mental health cases this year than there are COVID cases. Like, so more people have been seeking therapy, more people have had relapses in their mental health, like, than there have been COVID cases. And we know that there have been millions of COVID cases. So when you put that into perspective, like you realize how common it is to struggle with your mental health, right? So it's not as foreign as we think.
Yeah. And I think that just makes it great timing for these songs that you have come out with. And I know that that might be a hard thing, but I feel like something that everyone knows about you is that you're always so authentic, whether it's with Spiritually Beautiful or Here or any of your other songs. So do you feel like it was kind of that extra effort to be so open, or do you feel like it was almost more natural because you've done that before?
It was a bit of both. I feel like there's been a natural progression and a natural like openness that started happening like as I get more comfortable in myself as a person, as an artist and a writer. So I think over the years I've just become more comfortable. But also, I don't know, I think it was also kind of a conscious thing for me because again, like for a big chunk of this project, I was struggling a lot, and I was writing not only as like a hobby and as my job, but like kind of as a necessity. So I think the honesty came from like me needing to release like those things so that they weren't in me anymore, and that was my like metaphorical way of like taking them out of my body. So it was a bit of both.
Totally. I'm always so jealous of artists because I feel like when I have conversations with people like yourself, it's like you talk about the hardships and then you have that way of releasing it into like art and making it something beautiful that you can share with other people. And then I'm like, oh, I wish I had something like that. I just go to therapy and like cry a lot.
Me too. That's basically all music is like therapy. And I mean, I cry when I'm writing them. I cry when I record them. It just sounds a little bit nicer maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we all can kind of utilize that though. Like even if it's not music, like before I started writing music, I would write in a journal, or I would like even just talking to people. Like you can romanticize anything if you really want to. So I try to make something beautiful out of my pain because that's how I function. That's the only way that I have any desire to move forward, is if I can turn it into something nice for myself or for other people. Otherwise, what's the point? So I feel like you can find beauty in anything if you
That's true.
look.
That's a really good point. I feel like, yeah, and even like having conversations like this, I think it's like so important. With the themes of the album, with the whole like hardships versus the breakthroughs, do you feel like that was something that you were going through these hardships and now you've had the breakthrough and now you're in a good place? Or do you feel like you're still like back and forth? Where are you at currently?
I feel like on one end of things, I feel like I can kind of look back and know that I'm not in the place that I used to be when I was making a lot of these songs. So I do feel like I'm out of it. Or at least like I got one foot out the door, to where like I feel like lighter about life. I feel like I've healed from so many things. But then on the other end, I mean, anyone who has their feet grounded in reality to some degree, we know that like healing is not linear. It's not like a thing that you're just like, all right, well, I'm over that, like I'm great now. It kind of, you have lapses, you have steps back. So it's always kind of gonna be back and forth, but I feel like every step back is never exactly where you used to be, so you're always sort of moving forward. So I do feel like I'm moving forward. I do feel like I'm in a way better place right now. That may change, but right now I'm just like trying to enjoy the fact that I'm not miserable anymore. It feels good to like look over your shoulder and be like, oh, I've like taken a few steps forward. It's nice.
Yeah, I love to hear that. That's so great. July 23rd was the anniversary of Amy Winehouse's death. And I know you are the biggest Amy fan. Do you remember where you were when you first heard her music and also where you were when you found out she passed?
Yeah, I remember both of those moments very vividly. When I found her music, my mom was actually the one who like called me into the living room because her music video was playing on Much Music, and she was like, "I feel like you would love this girl," and I just like was staring at the TV, being like, "Who is this?" I was just like in awe of her voice, and she had like big curly hair like me, and she was just like singing her heart out, and I just like immediately was like, I'm choosing you to be my idol. Like, I want to be like you. And yeah, she was just so awesome. And I remember when she passed, I was in high school. I think I was in first year. And I was just like writing an essay in my bedroom on my bed. And my mom came again. My mom's part of both of these memories, weirdly enough. But she like sat on my bed and was like, like Amy just passed. Like it was on the news. And I was like, I just remember like my heart sank, my body kind of went numb. It felt fake. Like it felt like it felt wrong. It felt like it shouldn't have been her. I was like, no way. Like she has to keep making music forever. Like I'm going to meet her one day. Like she's going to make more music like that. This isn't real. It was such a shock. And I mean, it just felt like she deserved so many chances that she didn't get, and it sucked. But yeah, even now it still sucks. Like it hurts to see such talented people go and not get the chances they deserve to like rebuild their lives, but also like to continue to make more music, you know, and get better at their craft. Cause she was so talented. But yeah, it was sad. It was sad. I feel like we all remember where we were when she passed. It was one of those things, you know.
Totally. But I feel like you're the type of artist that then helps continue on her legacy. So I think you do a great job at that.
Oh wow, thank you. I hope so. I always wonder if she would have been into my music or not. She was very vocal about the stuff she hated. So I was like, I wonder if I'd be one of those pop girls that she like made fun of, but I'd still be honored either way.
Awesome. Alessia, thank you so much for taking the time. Always a pleasure. And I hope to see you soon in person, maybe.
Thank you. Hopefully, I know we got to stop doing these like Zoom things. I hope that that will be behind us soon.